Hey, good morning, my owner operator community. How you doing? This is Christian, Super Trucker Podcast, coming to you live. So 2026, getting a lot of phone calls, which is a good thing. A lot of first-time owner operators actually looking to do lease to purchases. So that's why I kind of want to. That's why I am jumping on here to kind of put this out there. If it looks too good to be true, it is. Again, what we do is put good information in front of good people so that you can actually make good decisions and so forth. So a lot of the phone calls that are coming around, guys are trying to actually some guys are looking for those lease to purchases that are no money down. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. A lot of these programs that are very easy to get into, no money down, walk away, and they kind of paint it that way. Just be careful. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, which is good. I'm just kind of I'm here to tell you the experiences of a lot of the people we know and what they've gone through, and other people's mistakes, so that you don't have to go through it. So check this out. No money down, sign and drive, walk away lease, all of that liability and all of that, you're paying for it in the weekly payments. So here's the breakdown. Just recently had a guy call. It's about 928 a week, plus the insurance, plus maintenance reserve, all of that. Probably going to be in that ballpark of about 1300 on a weekly basis. So the idea behind that is like, how do you survive with such a payment, right? And I get it, the enthusiasm, the grit, the drive, the want to start his business is there. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, hold up, before you sign that, just educate yourself about what other options that there are in order for you to be successful. So because we're getting the phone calls, I know it's out there, because a lot of people are talking about it. I know guys are looking for a way to do it, especially when you look out the window and you see that the rates are definitely turning in our favor. By far, you got guys grossing 8,000 gross on a weekly basis. So things are definitely improving in transportation. So a lot of people are going to want to jump in, especially make that move from that company driver position into being that first time owner operator. All right. So what are some of the things as I would say, be very cautious before you sign? One thing I would look out for is I would never recommend you sign on with a carrier lease to purchase offered program. Reason is, you're going to be forced to do their freight. You're going to be forced to do their rates, their dispatch, and you're not able to port the truck wherever you want. That truck must stay there. And when it has to stay there, you are now limited as an owner operator as to what you can do for your business, and where you can, you're forced to do that. So now what happens is you're probably going to pay about a $1,300 weekly payment. And guess what? They make it nice and easy for you, and it's going to be deducted from your settlement. So you don't even get the opportunity to actually move the numbers around and pay your bills properly. They're taking their cut right off the rip. And not necessarily that's a bad thing, right? Because you got to pay for it. Everything costs money. No such thing as a free truck. What I am saying is that number, that 1,300 on a weekly payment, man, that is just an astronomical amount of money. So the idea behind it is like, position yourself so you're not caught up in that. And how can you do that? By understanding what your other options are. So one, I would not do any lease to purchase offer carrier program. It's not going to be written in your favor. That you're probably like the fifth guy going to be in that truck. It is just kind of like this vicious cycle that is very difficult to get out of. Even though they shine it up with no money down, sign and drive, you can walk away whenever you want. All you do is bring the keys, give us a notice, yada, yada, yada. Trust me, you're going to lose. You're going to lose all the equity you dumped into that truck, whatever you've paid. Escrow is probably not going to cover, the repairs and getting that truck ready for the next person to take it. And that's your maintenance. Maintenance is probably going to get eaten up in that as well. So be very cautious with that. Number one, carrier offered programs, no dice. Another one is going to be, when the barrier to get that truck, you have no skin in the game. The problem with not having any skin in the game is that now it becomes it's a risky move for them. And so what happens is, if it's no credit check, none of that, right? Like, how many times has this truck been through how many drivers and so forth, and the walkaway leases, you're going to pay for that in the payment. That's what's going to happen. So now the payment no longer becomes reasonable. If you're anywhere near that, making a weekly payment, you're probably going to find yourself in a situation, because remember, what does move around is going to be rates. What doesn't get adjusted is going to be your lease payment. So if you come in too high, you got to always understand that high payment is always going to be there. So when rates make an adjustment and so forth, you're always going to have that higher payment. And yes, it costs less to get into this, but there's a couple of things you have to consider, right? What is that high payment? What is considered high? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But not just that, right? What is now your insurance? Your insurance has a cost. The maintenance has a cost. How many miles is this truck that they're giving you? Are you leased to purchasing something with a very high payment that already has 600,000 miles? How much meat is left on that bone, right? Can you survive the duration of it, 3 to 5 years? And after 5 years, 3 years, how much meat is left on that bone? Is that truck even roadworthy, and so forth? So let me tell you just what guys have been doing in order to be successful. All right. So the lease to purchase program that a lot of my guys have jumped onto, you hear us talk about it all the time, is the Lone Mountain stuff. Nobody here, gets paid by them or anything like that. It's just a pretty sweet program that works. No, it is not sign and drive. No, it is, you do have to put some money down. You do have to have skin in the game. So it can vary. I've seen guys from as low as $3,500 all the way up to $9,800. That's obviously going to be the new trucks, but you kind of have something in between, depending on how many miles you're going to be how many miles this truck has, if it still has the warranty. So some of their stuff has that 2-year warranty, but enough of those details. I'm not a salesman for them or anything like that. What I want to talk about is that very strategic monthly payment of $1,600. Guys have typically fallen in between 16 to, I want to say, about maybe $1,800 on a monthly payment. Now, so if you compare that to somebody paying about $1,200-$1,300 a week, here we go. So here's the program: $1,600 to about $1,800 a month, right? Depending on what truck you pick and how much down payment is going to be there. Now you, as an owner operator, have a sustainable number, regardless of because trucking is going to do what trucking does, right? Rates are going to definitely be that, but it's a reasonable payment that was reasonable 4 years ago. That will be reasonable right now. That will be reasonable in about 2 years. It's just a reasonable payment for a good value truck, right? So the mileage, you're going to be able to get something that's going to even be between, I want to say about anywhere from under 400,000 miles to the 580. I think already the anything below that 300,000 miles or right around that ballpark is going to be harder to come by, simply because of inventory and things moving around. But again, you get this ability to select something that you feel comfortable with. You're not just going to be, forced to be this type of truck because that's all they have to offer. So you do get a little bit of freedom on that end. And now here's the beauty, right? You make the payment to them directly, right? And why that's okay? Yes, getting it deducted from your settlement report is convenient, but come on, guys, no one needs to hold anyone's hand in order to get that done. You can send a check. That's not a big deal. And then the value of you doing that is, just imagine that, right? It's one monthly payment, and now you can move your truck to wherever you want. So I'm not condoning job hopping. I'm actually the opposite. I think you have to give it an opportunity to wherever you're running, once you're committed to the process, right? So if you're going to make this and you got your business plan and you already know where you're going to put this truck, that is one of the biggest things that you have to do, is stay consistent to what you're willing to do and stick to that grind. All right. So guys, I just wanted to bring this one up because what's actually happening out there, these phone calls are coming in. A lot of guys are looking for that no money down. Just be cautious with that. That's the fair warning. And not everything that shines is gold. We do talk about this all the time. We talked about it last year. We're talking about this year, but it continues to be something that's in the industry, and just be cautious with that. So again, if you're a first-time owner operator looking for some information, we are definitely available to speak to you. 863-342-5171. We have plenty of guys who have done it. We can show you how they've done it, and at least you're gathering your information and getting your questions answered. All right. So again, first time owner operators, you're looking to make the jump. The time is always now. And so we're here and available to make that help. So for everybody else, remember, we are 100% owner operator based company based out of Mulberry, Florida, which is Lakeland, basically the mecca of trucking. Give us a call to learn about our opportunities, whether you have your own trailer or you're looking to use one of ours. Regional, OTR. We have everything to fit your needs. Fuel cards. Got 2 of them, the Double Down program. Call to learn about how we do that and how guys are actually saving $1,500, $1,600 a month without any issues just on the fuel. I mean, that's a truck payment right there, money on the table. And if at your current location, if you're not using that fuel card discount, pay attention. That's a boatload of money that you're walking away from on a yearly basis. Make sure you do pay attention to that. So guys, do check out our Super Trucker podcast. It's on YouTube. Plenty of information there. So we will see you on the next one, but just wanted to jump on here real quick and let you know, if you're in this market for the lease to purchase, consider Lone Mountain or anything else other than having a $1,200 a week payment. You want to shoot for that monthly payment that is going to be reasonable. That way, that allows you to manage and keep that balance of quality home time and business management. All right, my people, once again, 863-342-5171. All right, stay blessed.